रोम रोम भाइयों
24 companies selected under PLI scheme for white goods. Government has said 24 companies have been selected under the production-linked incentive PLI scheme for white goods, air conditioners and LED lights, with a committed investment of 3,516 crore rupees. Commerce and Industry Ministry said these companies include 10 manufacturers of components of air conditioners and 8 manufacturers of LED lights. In the third round of the online application window of the PLI scheme, a total of 38 applications were received. The ministry said altogether 84 companies under the PLI scheme for white goods are set to bring investments of 10,478 crore rupees.
क्यों हिला डाला ना
Uttarakhand Cabinet approves Uniform Civil Code Manual. Uttarakhand Cabinet gives nod to implementation of UCC in the state. The Uttarakhand State Cabinet has given its nod to the Uniform Civil Code UCC Manual, paving the way for its implementation in the state. Speaking to the media after the cabinet meeting in Dehradun, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhame expressed his optimism about the UCC's impact. He stated that Uttarakhand's adoption of the UCC will serve as an inspiration for the rest of the country. The Uniform Civil Code seeks to ensure that all citizens are governed by a common set of laws in matters of personal relationships, promoting equality and justice. Accused Sanjay Roy sentenced to life imprisonment in Arjika rape and murder case. A sessions court in Kolkata's Sialdah has sentenced prime accused Sanjay Roy to life imprisonment in the Arjika rape and murder case. Sessions Judge Anirban Das also held that the state government will have to pay the victim's family compensation of 17 lakh rupees. Sanjay Roy was declared guilty in the case by the court on Saturday last week. The body of the PGT doctor was recovered from a seminar hall of the Arjika Medical College on 9th August last year. Sanjay Roy was arrested by the Kolkata police on 10th August. Later, he was handed over to the CBI and the CBI charged Sanjay Roy in the case. The National Commission for Women (NCW) has welcomed the judgment delivered by the Sessions Court in Kolkata regarding the rape and murder of a doctor at Arjikar Medical College. In a state high-level inter-ministerial team visits Rajouri district to ascertain cause of mysterious deaths. In Jammu and Kashmir, the high-level inter-ministerial team today visited Badhal village in Rajouri district to ascertain the cause of death of 17 members of 3 families under mysterious circumstances during the last 45 days. Our Jammu correspondent reports that the central team headed by a director rank officer in the Ministry of Home Affairs reached Rajouri district headquarters last evening and received a briefing from senior district health and police officers. The team, accompanied by senior officers, visited the village and split into 2 groups to begin their inquiry. Working with the local administration, the team will work to provide immediate relief and take steps to prevent future incidents. Earlier, Union Home Minister Amit Shah ordered an inter-ministerial team to investigate the deaths of 3 linked families in a remote village in Rajouri between December 7 to 19. WEF President Brent predicts 7 to 8% GDP growth for India with the help of reforms. World Economic Forum President and CEO Borge Brand forecast a 7 to 8% GDP growth for India on the back of higher investments driven by economic reforms. Talking to an Indian television channel in Switzerland's Davos during 55th World Economic Forum WEF annual meeting, Brand said India has great potential and it is still growing pretty well. 6% this year, he said. There is no reason why India cannot pick up again and do 7%, 8% provided that there are reforms in investments, infrastructure, education and R&D. The 5-day WEF meeting, which began today at Davos in Switzerland, will explore how to relaunch growth, harness new technologies, and strengthen social and economic resilience. The global meeting will be attended by close to 3,000 leaders from over 130 countries, including 350 governmental leaders. India is being represented by Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw, along with Jal Shakti Minister C.R. Patil, Civil Aviation Minister K. Ram Mohan Naidu, Food Processing Industries Minister Chirag Paswan, and Minister of State for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Jayant Chaudhary. During the 5-day event, India's model of inclusive growth and digital revolution will be highlighted. Sri Lanka rains wreak havoc, schools shut, landslide warnings issued. In Sri Lanka, rains have wreaked havoc in several provinces due to continued downpours. The meteorology department has forecast that rainy conditions will persist for the next 24 hours, affecting the northern, north central, eastern, Yuva, and central provinces. Heavy showers reaching up to 10 mm are expected in eastern and Uva provinces as well as in Matane, Nuawara. Sri Lanka UAE dispatches 200 tons of aid to Gaza in largest phase of Operation Chivalrous Night 3. The United Arab Emirates has initiated the largest phase of Operation Chivalrous Night 3, dispatching 20 trucks carrying over 200 tons of essential aid to Gaza. The operation, launched under the directives of President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, coincides with a humanitarian truce that enables intensified relief efforts in the region. The latest convoy carried food supplies, winter clothing, and necessities. So far, approximately 29,784 tons of humanitarian assistance has been provided through 156 previous convoys. The UAE's aid initiative includes the establishment of a field hospital in Gaza and a floating hospital in Arish, Egypt. One component of the operation includes the Birds of Goodness initiative, which airdrops supplies to areas in northern Gaza that are inaccessible by land. The UAE has also invested in infrastructure projects, including the construction of desalination plants in Rafah, Egypt, with a daily production capacity of 2 million gallons. India becomes seventh largest producer in the world. India is now the seventh largest coffee producer globally, with exports reaching $1.2 billion in the last financial year. The Commerce and Industry Ministry said in a release that this is nearly double the $719 million worth of exports in 2021. The ministry also highlighted that in the first half of this month, India exported over 9,300 tons of coffee, with top buyers including Italy, Belgium, and Russia. It added that while India primarily exports unroasted coffee beans, there is a growing demand for value added products like roasted and instant coffee, further fueling the export boom. Meanwhile, Karnataka leads in coffee production, contributing 248,000 metric tons in 22-23, followed by Kerala and Tamil Nadu. South Korean court issues warrant to detain impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol over his declaration of martial law. In South Korea, a court issued a warrant today to detain impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol for an extended period over his controversial declaration of martial law on December 3. The Seoul Western District Court approved the arrest warrant after a lengthy deliberation, citing concerns that Yoon could destroy evidence. Yoon's arrest may lead to a prolonged. Union Minister Amit Shah lays foundation stone of shooting range in Hyderabad. Union Home Minister Amit Shah today laid foundation stone for the state-of-the-art composite shooting range at the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy in Hyderabad. The Union Minister, who was in Vijayawada of Andhra Pradesh, has virtually laid the stone. The shooting range, which is 50 meters long and has 10 tracks, has been proposed to be built for 27 crore rupees with modern facilities to train 10 IPS probationary officers at a time. Academy Director Amit Garg and other senior officials attended the ceremony. The Academy, in a release, stated that the new facility will be the major technological boost to the outdoor infrastructure of NPA in its entire history. Our correspondent says that the turnaround time for training batches will come down drastically as no more travel to nearby firing ranges is required. All varieties of firing practices like day firing, night firing, reflex firing, and all-season firing can be conducted. Trucks carrying aid enter Gaza, efforts to release hostages. The United Nations has said that trucks carrying humanitarian aid entered Gaza after a truce between Israel and Hamas went into effect. Efforts are also underway for the release of hostages. A team from the International Committee of the Red Cross (ICRC) was on its way to collect from Hamas the first hostages to go free under the ceasefire deal. News reports say the Israeli military has set up 3 locations near the northern, central, and southern edges of the Gaza and erased Reim and Karim Shalom to take charge of the hostages. At the same time, vehicles from the ICRC have arrived at Offer prison in the occupied West Bank ahead of anticipated releases of Palestinian prisoners. UN aid official Jonathan Whittle, interim chief of the UN's OCHA, aid agency for the Palestinian terrorism, said on the X that the first trucks of supplies started carrying. India scripts history in inaugural edition as both men's and women's teams lift trophies. In the inaugural edition of the Coco World Cup, India women's and men's teams were crowned as the world champions. Women team India secured a commanding victory with a score of 78-40 against the Nepal's women's team in the final match of the World Cup 2025 at Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium, New Delhi. Later in the men's final match, India defeated Nepal by 54-36 at the same venue. The team in blue dominated the game right from the first turn, employing well-executed strategies that kept Nepal on the back foot. The Indian players showcased their natural aggressive style of play, leading to a well-deserved triumph and bringing home the trophy. World Bank projects 6.7% growth for India, surpassing global growth of 2.7%. The World Bank has projected 6.7% growth for India, surpassing global growth of 2.7%. The January 2025 edition of the World Bank's Global Economic Prospects (GEP) report stated that India is set to dominate the global economic landscape, maintaining its status as the fastest growing large economy for the next 2 fiscal years. The GEP report credits this extraordinary momentum to a thriving services sector and a revitalized manufacturing base, driven by transformative government initiatives. From modernizing infrastructure to simplifying taxes, these measures are fueling domestic growth and positioning India as a cornerstone of global economic stability. Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal begins. Israel confirms receiving list of hostages to be freed on first day. A temporary ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has commenced after a 3-hour delay, facilitating a critical step toward de-escalation in the ongoing conflict. Mediator Qatar today confirmed the start of the truce. Israel has confirmed receiving from Hamas the names of the 3 captives to be freed on the first day of implementation of the agreement. Prime Minister of Israel on social media platform X posted that they have received the list of the hostages who are due to be released today according to the framework. He said the security establishment is now checking the details. In a statement, Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu's office also says 4 other female hostages could be freed in 7 days. US banned TikTok a day before swearing in of President-elect Donald Trump. Millions of TikTok users in the United States are no longer able to watch videos on the social media platform as a federal ban on the popular app takes effect. The newly enacted US law prohibiting the use of the platform came into effect today, a day before the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. The ban followed months of legal battles and heightened scrutiny over TikTok's Chinese ownership. In an interview with a news network, Trump has said he was thinking about giving TikTok a 90-day extension that would allow them to continue operating. TikTok CEO Shao Chu is expected to attend Trump's inauguration. Accused in Saif Ali Khan attack case remanded for 5-day police custody. The accused in the Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan attack case, Mohammad Shariful Islam Shahzad, has been remanded in 5-day police custody. He was produced before the Bandra Holiday Court earlier today. Shahzad was arrested in the early hours today from Thane West near Mumbai. अगले 2 वित्त वर्षों में भारत दुनिया में सबसे तेज गति से विकसित हो रही बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बना रहेगा, विश्व बैंक ने वैश्विक वृद्धि दर 2.7% को पीछे छोड़ते हुए भारत के लिए 6.7% वृद्धि दर होने का अनुमान व्यक्त किया है। विश्व बैंक ने वैश्विक आर्थिक संभावना जीईपी रिपोर्ट के इस वर्ष के जनवरी संस्करण में कहा है कि अगले 2 वित्त वर्षों में भारत दुनिया में सबसे तेज गति से विकसित हो रही बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बना रहेगा। जीईपी रिपोर्ट जनवरी 2025 में इस असाधारण वृद्धि दर के बने रहने के लिए सेवा क्षेत्र में तेज गति से विकास और विनिर्माण आधार के बढ़ने के साथ सरकार की सुधारात्मक उपायों को श्रेय दिया है। रिपोर्ट में यह भी कहा गया है कि बुनियादी ढांचे के आधुनिकीकरण के साथ कर व्यवस्था को आसान बनाने संबंधी उपायों से घरेलू बाजार में तेज गति से वृद्धि हो रही है और भारत दुनिया की आर्थिक स्थिरता बनाए रखने में सबसे मजबूत होकर उभरा है। रूस के राष्ट्रपति व्लादिमीर पुतिन और ईरान के राष्ट्रपति मसूद पेजेश्कियान ने मॉस्को में नए व्यापक सामरिक भागीदारी समझौते पर हस्ताक्षर किए। रूस के राष्ट्रपति व्लादिमीर पुतिन और ईरान के राष्ट्रपति मसूद पेजेश्कियान ने मॉस्को में द्विपक्षीय वार्ता के बाद एक नए व्यापक सामरिक भागीदारी समझौते पर हस्ताक्षर किए हैं। क्रेमलिन वेबसाइट के अनुसार दोनों देश व्यापार, निवेश, रक्षा, सुरक्षा, अंतरिक्ष ऊर्जा और आतंकवाद का मुकाबला करने सहित कई क्षेत्रों में सहयोग मजबूत करने पर सहमत हुए हैं। राष्ट्रपति पुतिन के हवाले से रिपोर्ट में बताया गया है कि नए समझौते से महत्वाकांक्षी लक्ष्य रेखांकित होते हैं और राजनीति, सुरक्षा, व्यापार, निवेश और मानवीय मामलों जैसे क्षेत्रों में लंबी अवधि का सहयोग और अधिक मजबूत करने की रूपरेखा तैयार होती है। दूसरी ओर ईरान के राष्ट्रपति का कहना है कि इस नए समझौते से ईरान और रूस के बीच संबंधों का एक नया अध्याय शुरू होगा और द्विपक्षीय आर्थिक तथा व्यापार संबंधों को बढ़ावा मिलेगा। Nixie announces Internet Governance, Internship and Capacity Building Scheme. The National Internet Exchange of India, Nixie, has announced the launch of the Internet Governance, Internship and Capacity Building Scheme. The program will offer a biannual internship with 2 parallel tracks, a 6-month and a 3-month program. Electronics and Information Technology Ministry in a statement said that each intern will be monitored. PM Modi distributes over 65 lakh property cards under Swamitva scheme to beneficiaries from 50,000 villages, says scheme aims to empower rural communities in land management. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today distributed over 65 lakh property cards under the Swamitva scheme. 2 judges shot in SC building in Tehran. In Iran, 2 judges were killed in a shooting attack today at the Supreme Court building in Tehran. State media reported that 3 Supreme Court judges were targeted, 2 were killed on the spot and 1 other judge was injured. According to media reports, the attacker killed himself immediately after carrying out the shooting. The motive for the attack remains unclear. A preliminary police investigation revealed that the assailant had no pending case in the Supreme Court and was not a client of the branches headed by the 2 judges. 15-man squad announced for ICC Championship and England Series. The BCCI has announced the 15-man squad for the upcoming ICC Champions Trophy 2025 and the ODI series against England. Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami have been named in India's squad. India will play 3 bilateral ODIs against England on February 6, 9 and 12 before the team flies to Dubai for the Champions Trophy, which begins on February 19. India are in Group A in the Champions Trophy and begin their campaign against Bangladesh on February 20, after which they play Pakistan on February 23 and New Zealand on March 2. India will play all their matches in Dubai. The India squad for Champions Trophy 2025 includes Rohit Sharma as captain, Shubman Gill vice captain, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya, Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Arshdeep Singh, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Rishabh Pant, Ravindra Jadeja. Mumbai traffic will be improved with integrated ticketing system. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw said that Mumbai's public transport will soon get a major boost with the integrated ticketing system. He was speaking today in Mumbai at a discussion on the integrated ticketing system in the presence of Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. He also informed that the railways will invest 17,107 crore rupees to start 300 more local services in Mumbai, reaffirming the central and state government's dedication to the city's development. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis emphasized that Mumbai's local trains are the city's lifeline. He shared how the new integrated ticketing system will make commuting faster and simpler by allowing passengers to seamlessly access various modes of transport. Israel to release 735 Palestinian prisoners in first phase of Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal with Hamas. Israel will release 735 Palestinian prisoners during the first phase of the Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal that it agreed with Hamas. In a statement, Israel's Justice Ministry said the deal is expected to go into effect tomorrow and include 3 phases. The first phase is expected to last for 42 days, during which 33 Israeli hostages are said to be released. The ministry released the names of all prisoners set for release, except those of 25 minors aged between 16 and 18. The ministry's statement was released shortly after the Israeli government approved the deal, paving the way for implementation tomorrow. US Supreme Court upholds law banning TikTok in country if platform not sold by Chinese parent company. The US Supreme Court has upheld a federal law proposing a nationwide ban on video sharing platform TikTok beginning tomorrow unless the Chinese-owned social media is sold to a US-based owner. The unanimous ruling issued yesterday aligns with Congress and the Justice Department's stance that TikTok, owned by Chinese company ByteDance, poses a national security threat. In the court, the US lawmakers argued that the app could be exploited by the Chinese Communist Party to spread propaganda and manipulate users. The court agreed, citing TikTok's ties to Beijing as sufficient justification for the ban. Last year, President Joe Biden had signed a bipartisan bill that said TikTok must spin off from its China-based parent company or shut down in the US. Meanwhile, TikTok no endorsements on tours, no traveling separately. BCCI issues strict policies for team. The Board of Control for Cricket in India, BCCI, unveiled a 10-point policy to promote discipline and unity in the team yesterday. The policy makes domestic cricket mandatory, imposes restrictions on the presence of families and personal staff on tours, and a ban on individual commercial endorsements during ongoing series. The restrictions were sought by head coach Gautam Gambhir in a review meeting. Non-compliance would invite sanctions, including cuts in the player's retainer fee from central contracts and a ban on participating in the Indian Premier League. Recently, the Indian cricket team lost the prestigious Border Gavaskar Trophy in Australia and earlier lost to New Zealand in a home series. Glorious history of Vadnagar in Gujarat is more than 2500 years old. PM Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today remarked that the glorious history of Vadnagar in Gujarat is more than 2500 years old. Sharing a video in a social media post, the Prime Minister highlighted that unique efforts were taken to preserve and protect it. This comes a day after Union Minister of Home Affairs Amit Shah inaugurated a state-of-the-art museum and archaeological interpretation center in Vadnagar. Gaza hostage deal reached, confirms Israeli PM Netanyahu. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today confirmed that a deal has been reached to release hostages held in Gaza and to implement a ceasefire, following intense negotiations between Israeli and Hamas team in Qatar. The Israeli Prime Minister had convened a security cabinet meeting for today to hold a vote on the deal, with a full cabinet session to follow for official approval. As per media reports, PM Netanyahu was informed by the Israeli negotiating team that the deal had been successfully concluded, and he thanked them for their efforts. The deal, which marks a significant step towards ending the 15-month-long conflict, will see the release of dozens of hostages held by Hamas in exchange for Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. PM Netanyahu's office confirmed that the families of the remaining 98 hostages have been updated and preparations are underway for their return. Court rejects petition challenging impeached Press Yoon's detention over martial law probe. A Seoul court has rejected a petition challenging the detention of South Korea's impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol, who is under investigation for his failed martial law bid. The decision by the Seoul Central District Court came a day after Yoon's legal representatives filed a petition seeking a review of the legality of Yoon's detention, but the court upheld the decision to keep him in custody. Mr. Yoon was detained the day before for questioning over his martial law declaration on December 3, after ignoring 3 summons. The court dismissed claims that the detention warrant was invalid and that the investigation should be handled by a different court. It also confirmed that the Corruption Investigation Office CIO for high-ranking officials has the authority to probe such cases. President Murmu confers National Sports Awards 2024. President Draupadi Murmu conferred the National Sports Awards 2024 at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi today. World Chess Champion D. Gukesh, double medalist at the Paris Olympics Manu Bhaker, men's hockey team captain Harmanpreet Singh, and gold medalist at the Paris Paralympics Praveen Kumar were honored with the prestigious Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Government enhances preparations for Mauni Amavasya at Prayagraj's Mahakumbh, 8 crore devotees expected. The government is fine-tuning preparations for Mauni Amavasya Amrit Snan in Mahakumbh in Prayagraj on the 29th of this month. More than 8 crore devotees and pilgrims are expected to take a holy dip on Mauni Amavasya at the Triveni Sangam. To strengthen the arrangements, Chief Secretary Manoj Kumar Sinha, UN to help Lebanon achieve economic recovery, UN Chief Guterres. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that the UN will exert all efforts to enable Lebanon to achieve economic recovery. The UN chief said the PM Modi to distribute 65 lakh property cards under Swamitva scheme to 50,000 villages tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will distribute over 65 lakh property cards under the Swamitva scheme to property owners in over 50,000 villages across 10 states and 2 union territories. 30 dead after consuming toxic alcohol. In Turkey, 30 people so far died and 49 others remain hospitalized in a huge tragedy. The dead include foreign nationals also. In response, the Istanbul governor's office announced raids at multiple sites detaining 6 suspects linked to large-scale toxic alcohol distribution. 2 were charged with intentional homicide, while legal proceedings continue for the others. The Turkish government also tightened regulations on alcohol storage, requiring official approval for storage facilities and banning shared or improperly located warehouses. SpaceX mission, India becomes 4th nation to achieve successful space docking of 2 satellites. The Indian Space Research Organization has achieved a historic milestone today after the successful space docking of its 2 satellites named Chaser and Target under the SpaceX mission. After the stupendous success of the indigenously developed Bharatiya docking system by ISRO, India has become the 4th country to use this technology after the USA, Russia, and China. Docking technology is critical in assembling the space station and in crewed missions. It provides crucial facilities including in-orbit refueling and assembling heavy infrastructure in microgravity. General V.K. Singh sworn in as Governor of Mizoram. Former Army Chief and Union Minister of State, General Vijay Kumar Singh was sworn in as the 25th Governor of Mizoram at the circular lawn of the Raj Bhavan in Aizawl at 11 am today. Chief Justice of Guwahati High Court Justice Vijay Bishnoi administered the oath of office to General Singh. Indonesian President to be the chief guest of RD celebration this year. President of Indonesia Prabowo Subianto will be the chief guest of the 76th Republic Day celebrations this year. At the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, President Subianto will pay a state visit to India on the 25th and 26th of January. According to the Ministry of External Affairs, this will be President Prabowo's first visit to India after assuming office in October 2024. This visit will provide an opportunity for the leaders to undertake a comprehensive review of bilateral ties as well as to discuss regional and global issues of mutual interest. India and Indonesia share warm and friendly ties. As a comprehensive strategic partner, Indonesia is an important pillar in India's Act East policy and the Indo-Pacific region. India to set up 60 smart classrooms in Sri Lanka. India and Sri Lanka have signed an agreement to set up 60 smart classrooms in plantation regions on the island. The project is funded by a grant of 508 million Sri Lankan rupees from the Indian government. The deal was signed by Indian High Commissioner Santosh Jha and Sri Lanka Secretary in the Ministry of Plantation, B.K. Prabhant Chandra Kirthi. The initiative will benefit 48 schools in Nuwara, Elia, and 6 schools each in Kandy and Badula. It aims to integrate technology into classrooms and improve education for students. It is notable that India has been a key partner in Sri Lanka's development, especially in the field of education, contributing over USD 5 billion. Past projects include renovating schools, setting up computer labs, and training teachers, which have been carried out under grant assistance. Recently, over 2,000 teachers from plantation schools received training in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, also called STEM. The Smart Classroom Initiative underscores India's commitment to fostering education and empowerment in Sri Lanka. Ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas delayed. Israel has delayed a cabinet vote on the Gaza ceasefire and hostage deal, blaming Hamas for reneging on parts of the agreement. However, Hamas has denied the accusation and said it is committed to the truce. The deal scheduled to be implemented on Sunday outlines a 6-week initial ceasefire with the gradual withdrawal of Israeli forces from the Gaza Strip. Hostages taken by Hamas would be freed in exchange for Palestinian prisoners detained by Israel. Meanwhile, Gaza's civil defense agency has said at least 70 people have been killed in Israeli strikes since a ceasefire deal was announced. QS World Future Skills Index ranks India second for digital skills, ahead of Canada and Germany. The QS World Future Skills Index has ranked India second for digital skills, ahead of Canada and Germany. In a social media post, Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed happiness over this achievement. He said, over the last decade, the government has worked on strengthening the country's youth by equipping them with skills that enable them to become self-reliant and create wealth. The Prime Minister stated that the insights from the QS World Future Skills Index are valuable as the country moves further on the journey towards prosperity and youth empowerment. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said skilling India is a mission taken up by the central government on the path towards Viksit Bharat. 10th Ajanta Veritable International Film Festival at Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting Sanjay Jaju attended the 10th Ajanta Veritable International Film Festival AIFF held in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Addressing the gathering, Mr. Jaju highlighted the vibrant and diverse cultural fabric of India, emphasizing the role of cinema in showcasing the country's rich storytelling heritage. The festival organizers conferred the prestigious Padma Pani Lifetime Achievement Award on Padma Bhushan Sai Paranjape. Government announces setting up of 8th Pay Commission for central government employees and pensioners. The government today announced the setting up of the 8th Pay Commission for the central government employees and pensioners. An announcement in this regard was made by Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw in New Delhi. He was briefing the media about the cabinet's decision. The minister said that the term of the 7th Pay Commission is going to end in 2026 and the setting up of the 8th Pay Commission now will give enough time to receive recommendations of the pay panel. He said the appointment of the chairman and 2 members of the commission will be made soon. India-Singapore celebrates 60 years of establishment of diplomatic relations. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today met the visiting President of Singapore, Tharman Shanmugaratnam in New Delhi. President Tharman will hold discussions with President Draupadi Murmu tomorrow at Rashtrapati Bhavan. President Murmu will also host a banquet in his honor. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also meet with the President of Singapore. Mr. Shanmugaratnam is on a 5-day visit to India. He is accompanied by a high-level delegation including ministers, members of parliament and officials. This is his first visit to India as the President of Singapore. President Tharman will also visit Odisha on Friday and Saturday. India and Singapore have extensive cooperation based on a long tradition of friendship, trust and mutual respect. President Tharman's visit is expected to provide further momentum to bilateral relations between the two nations. The state visit will also mark the beginning of the celebrations of the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between India and Singapore. TRAI invites suggestions from stakeholders on draft telecommunication tariff order 2025. The Telecom Regulatory Authority of India TRAI today released the draft telecommunication tariff order 2025 on the rationalization of broadband tariffs for public data offices under the PM Wani scheme. This initiative is aimed at contributing to the broader objectives of the National Digital Communications Policy 2018 and the Bharat 6G vision, which targets the deployment of 50 million public Wi-Fi hotspots by 2030. The draft amendment has been placed on TRAI's website and stakeholders can submit their comments by the 31st of this month. The Department of Telecommunications highlighted that the proliferation of the PM Wani scheme was significantly below the envisaged targets. It said that one of the reasons for this low proliferation of PM Wani was the high cost of backhaul internet connectivity charged by telecom service providers and internet service providers. Union Minister Piyush Goyal inaugurates National Turmeric Board. In Telangana, the long-cherished dream of turmeric farmers in the state has become a reality with Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal inaugurating the National Turmeric Board in Nizamabad yesterday. During the launch held virtually, the minister emphasized that the board will focus on improving productivity, developing superior varieties and boosting exports of the golden spice. Highlighting the immense potential for turmeric cultivation in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Goyal said the initiative will help enhance the welfare of turmeric farmers and provide them with targeted support and infrastructure. India celebrates Army Day to honor soldiers, martyrs. Army Day is being celebrated today to honor the armed forces and their immense sacrifices for the country. It is a day to celebrate Indian soldiers' courage, commitment and service to the motherland. Army Day is celebrated on this day to commemorate General K.M. Karyappa taking over the commander of the Indian Army. Mahakumbh 2025, India's largest spiritual gathering, becomes global cultural event. The Mahakumbh 2025 has cemented its place as not only India's largest spiritual gathering but also a global cultural event by attracting millions. Designated as an intangible heritage of humanity, the Mahakumbh represents the essence of Sanatan culture and has sparked worldwide curiosity. Center approves creation of 2 new CISF reserve battalions. The center has approved the creation of 2 new reserve battalions of the Central Industrial Security Force (CISF), taking the total number of battalions from 13 to 15. In a statement, the Home Ministry said that each new battalion will comprise around 1,025 personnel of various ranks and will be led by a senior commandant level officer. These new battalions will be vital in catering to the increasing demands on the CISF by creating a pool of trained personnel to fulfill immediate induction requirements relating to internal security. The ministry added that the reserve battalions consist of personnel specifically trained and equipped who are experienced in handling the security of high security jails and other undertakings. PM Modi says India operates with spirit of development, not expansionism. Dedicates 3 new frontline naval combatants to nation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today emphasized that India operates with a spirit of development, not expansionism. He remarked that India has always supported an open, secure, inclusive, and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. He was addressing the gathering after dedicating 3 frontline naval combatants INS Surat, INS Nilgiri, and INS Vagshir to the nation on their commissioning at the Naval Dockyard in Mumbai. Union Minister Amit Shah to inaugurate Fast Track Immigration Trusted Traveller Program on Jan 16. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will inaugurate the Fast Track Immigration Trusted Traveller Program at Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Cochin and Ahmedabad airports tomorrow. This will provide world-class immigration facilities to travelers, making international travel seamless and secure. According to the Home Ministry, applicants are required to complete online registration by filling in their details and uploading the required documents on the portal ftittp.mha.gov.in. To enroll in this program, the biometric data of registered applicants will be captured either at the Foreigners Regional Registration Office or while passing through the airport. PM Modi pays tribute to Tamil poet Thiruvalluvar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today paid tribute to renowned Tamil poet Thiruvalluvar on the occasion of Thiruvalluvar Day. In a social media post, the Prime Minister said that the verses of Thiruvalluvar reflect the essence of Tamil culture and the philosophical heritage of the country. Mr. Modi added that the teachings of Thiruvalluvar emphasize righteousness, compassion, and justice. The Prime Minister said the timeless work of the poet, the Tirukural, stands as a beacon of inspiration and offers profound insights on a wide range of issues. South Korean impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol arrested for imposing martial law. South Korea's impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol was arrested today by law enforcement officials. Yoon, who was impeached and charged with insurrection over his short-lived effort to impose martial law last month, it is the first time in South Korean history that a sitting president has been detained. According to reports, the suspended president was seen leaving his heavily fortified residence in central Seoul in a convoy to the Offices of Corruption Investigation Office after a joint team of investigators and police said they had executed the arrest warrant. Los Angeles faces escalating wildfire threats as Santa Ana winds intensify. In the USA, firefighters in Los Angeles are battling multiple blazes as officials warn of strong winds that could fuel rapid fire growth. Southern California also faces extremely critical fire conditions as strong Santa Ana winds threaten new wildfires and hinder recent firefighting progress. A new blaze, the auto fire, also broke out late yesterday in Ventura County. India to supply 80 cabs to Sri Lanka for its police stations. Strengthening the development partnership between the two nations, India and Sri Lanka signed the Memorandum of Understanding for the supply of 80 single cabs to police stations in Sri Lanka's northern province. The MOU, backed by a grant of 300 million Sri Lankan rupees from the Government of India, was signed by Indian High Commissioner Santosh Jha and Sri Lanka's Secretary of Public Security DWRB Seneviratne. The initiative aims to enhance citizen safety and improve law enforcement. This project is part of India's broader people-centric development cooperation efforts in Sri Lanka, which span sectors like housing, health, education, and agriculture. These initiatives reflect India's commitment to addressing local needs and support the Sri Lankan government's priorities. North Korea fires short-range missiles into East Sea. North Korea launched multiple short-range ballistic missiles towards the East Sea today. South Korea's military said it detected the launches this morning from the Ganggi area in the North Jangang province, and the missiles flew about 250 kilometers before splashing into the sea. However, the military did not specify the number of missiles fired. The launch comes just days before US President-elect Donald Trump takes office. South Korea's acting president Choi Sang-mok denounced North Korea's latest launch, calling it a clear violation of UN Security Council resolution. Field evaluation of NAG Mk2 successfully conducted at Pokhran. The field evaluation of the indigenously developed third-generation anti-tank fire and forget guided missile NAG Mk2 was successfully conducted at Pokhran Field Range in Rajasthan. The Defense Ministry said that during the 3 field trials, the missile system precisely destroyed all the targets and validated its firing range. Lauding the success of trials, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh congratulated the Defense Research and Development Organization of the Indian Army and industry. The Nag missile carrier version 2 was also field evaluated. With this, the entire weapon system is now ready for induction into the Indian Army. US tightens its grip on AI chip flows. The outgoing Biden administration has imposed new restrictions on exporting US developed AI chips, aiming to curb China's military and industrial rise and blocking access to powerful AI chips and closed AI models. The decision, made just a week before Biden leaves office, is expected to heighten tensions with Beijing. US Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo stated the rules are designed to protect advanced AI technology and prevent it from reaching foreign adversaries. The new global export framework creates 3 tiers for advanced AI chip exports. No new restrictions are placed on allies like Australia, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. China and Russia already. Over 1.5 crore devotees take dip on first day of Mahakumbh. 7-tier security plan in place for this 45-day grand event. Over 1 crore 50 lakh devotees and pilgrims today took the holy dip as the world's largest spiritual and cultural gathering Mahakumbh began today in Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh. Devotees, pilgrims and visitors took a holy dip in various ghats of Triveni Sangam on Paush Purnima today. Flower petals were showered on devotees from helicopters. First edition of Kho-Kho World Cup begins in Delhi. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar alongside Indian Olympic Association President P.T. Usha and Kho-Kho Federation of India President Sudhanshu Mittal lit the ceremonial torch of Kho-Kho World Cup 2025, symbolizing the spirit of sportsmanship, unity and the global celebration of India's traditional sport. The first edition of the Kho-Kho World Cup 2025 was officially inaugurated in a grand ceremony at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium, New Delhi today. The historic event marked the global debut of the traditional Indian sport. India summons top Bangladesh diplomat on border fencing issue. The Bangladesh Acting High Commissioner to India, Nurul Islam, was today summoned by the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi. During the meeting, it was conveyed that with regard to security measures at the border, including fencing, India observed all protocols and agreements between the two governments. The ministry said India conveyed its expectation that all earlier understandings will be implemented by Bangladesh and that there will be a cooperative approach to combating cross-border crimes. India has also reiterated its commitment to ensuring a crime-free border by effectively addressing the challenges of cross-border criminal activities, smuggling, movement of criminals and trafficking. It said barbed wire fencing, border lighting, installation of technical devices and cattle fences are measures for securing the border. Lohri is celebrated with full religious fervor. The festival of Lohri is being celebrated with full devotion and enthusiasm in Punjab, Haryana, and Chandigarh. People are celebrating the seasonal festival with full enthusiasm by offering peanuts, jaggery, and sesame in the fire and sharing it with each other. People are dancing to the beats of drums and trumpets. Haryana Governor Bandaduru Dattatreya greeted the people on the auspicious occasion. US wildfires. Death toll rises to 24, damages estimated to be in $1 billion. In the USA, number of people killed in the California wildfires has risen to 24, while the losses due to the wildfires estimated to be in the billions of dollars. Analysts at AccuWeather estimate wildfire damages at $135 to $150 billion, covering real estate, agriculture, infrastructure, and healthcare expenses for displaced populations. According to JP Morgan analysis, this is nearly 4% of California's annual GDP. Media reports suggest it is sparking an existential insurance crisis in California. JP Morgan analysts predict insured losses of $20 billion with uninsured losses potentially surpassing $100 billion. There are 3 wildfires still burning in the Los Angeles area. The largest, the Nigeria, 16 civilians killed due to mistaken identity. In Nigeria, at least 16 civilians have been killed and many others injured in a military airstrike in northwestern Zamfara state. It apparently happened after they were mistaken for criminal gangs, according to local media. The victims were members of local vigilante groups and they were returning to their villages after chasing away bandits when they were bombed. The strikes targeted militant gangs in the Zurmi and Mardun areas. The Nigerian Air Force said it was investigating reports of civilian casualties. It also stated that the operation successfully eliminated several bandits and led to the recovery of some kidnapped victims. New Delhi and Riyadh signed Hajj agreement to secure quota for Indian pilgrims. PM Modi hails the agreement. India's Minister of Minority Affairs Kiran Rijiju signed the Hajj Agreement 2025 with Saudi Arabia's Minister for Hajj and Umrah Dr. Taufik bin Fazan Al Rabia in Jeddah today. The agreement secures a quota of 1,750 25,000. PM Modi inaugurates Sonmarg Tunnel in J&K. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today inaugurated and dedicated the prestigious Sonmarg Tunnel to the nation in central Kashmir's Gandarbal district. Union Ministers Nitin Gadkari, Dr. Jitendra Singh, J&K Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha, Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, senior UT ministers, parliament members, legislators and senior tunnel project officials were present on the occasion. Prime Minister also inspected the tunnel by moving inside the tunnel. He was briefed about the tunnel project. Mumbai Cricket Association begins 50th anniversary celebrations of Wankhede Stadium. The Mumbai Cricket Association MCA commenced its 50th anniversary celebrations at the Wankhede Stadium yesterday. At the initial event, several Mumbai cricketing legends were honored, including iconic batter Sunil Gavaskar and former player Vinod Kambli by MCA President Ajinkya Nayak, who presented the memento. The event will honor both male and female cricketers who have represented Mumbai city at the domestic and international levels. The main celebration is scheduled for the 19th of January at the stadium itself. Bhashani platform enhances multilingual accessibility for devotees at Mahakumbh in Prayagraj. The government's cutting-edge Bhashani platform is providing multilingual accessibility to the devotees and pilgrims visiting Mahakumbh in Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology's Bhashani platform is offering real-time translation and voice-enabled assistance in 11 languages. With the help of this platform, visitors can register their lost and found complaints in their native language. Bhashani's translation support is also available in Kumbh Sahayak chatbot to provide seamless, real-time information and navigation assistance. The Uttar Pradesh Police Department has also collaborated with the Bhashani app to train field officers to utilize the Converse feature in the app to understand the grievances of the distressed devotees seeking help in case of a language barrier.